I'm going back in time. Was it 81 when you guys took out the Montreal Canadiens, or 82?
No, it was no. We lost to LA in 82.
Okay.
So it would have been 70, 80, 81.
81, yeah, 81. You take out the Montreal Canadiens, you defeat Guy Lafleur and the Habs. A lot of people look back on that series as a breakthrough moment for the young Oilers. Has this current edition, yeah, they beat San Jose last year, but Draisaitl and McDavid, have they had their breakthrough moment yet, do you think?
Well, I think they proved to themselves that they can play at that level, because the playoffs, as we know, are different. It's a different game. There's no question. The scrutiny that you're under, the checking that you're under, especially a guy like McDavid, we saw him being checked from all the different series there. So that's in itself is a different game. But to prove to themselves that they can play, and I think probably deep down they're probably a little bit satisfied with where they were.
Yeah.
But I think really deep down they probably got through about halfway through the summer and said, "Wow, we had more to give, and we can do some more here." I think that's
David
probably
looked pissed, though.
Yeah, I think they were, but I think they
that.
were, but I think they're also there's always that juggling of, okay, we've had a good year, maybe they got their their boats ready and vacation plans, and do you put that away, and so that takes some experience. But I think this year that I think they'll be shooting for a loftier goal, and it'll be tougher for them this year. Nobody's going to take them lightly now.
No.
And they'll see stiffer competition. They won't have any nights off, and teams will be ready for them this year. And I expect a tough year for them in that regard, and they're going to have to get through some, probably some tough spots at times. But overall, they got a solid team, and you got a guy like McDavid, and they got the goaltending. They're in a good spot.
Is Leon Draisaitl a center or a winger?
Well, I think the beautiful thing about his game is that he can play pretty much. You probably could play defensive if you put him there. He understands the game so well. But I think McDavid can make anybody a great winger. But we saw that he played pretty well on that line, right? Mm-hmm. But I think, as you've seen with Pittsburgh the last few years, when you have two centermen of that caliber, it makes a big difference. And I was always under the impression that in putting so much emphasis on the defense, and of course, their defense got banged up, and their defense actually played incredibly well, probably better than anybody thought they were going to. But you can never discount the fact that you got Crosby, Malkin down the middle with the goaltending that they received. That's a pretty tough combination.
I think it's a pretty foolish debate when people say, hey, they had $21 million locked up in McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, who would you rather spend your money on?
Hold on. A lot of money, though.
But
that is a lot of money. No?
Correct this man. He was wrong about my shoes. He's wrong about this. Is
In
he
a
not?
cap system, I'm just saying that's...
You have to spend it on someone.
The Penguins regret nothing. Blackhawks regret nothing. Kings have done that. In hockey, you got to spend 2 or 3 spots and hope for the best in other places.
Well, look, if you look at Chicago and the nucleus that they've had, if you look at Pittsburgh, the nucleus they have, sure, you can spend top heavy. What it does do is it puts a lot more pressure on the general manager and the scouting staff, is because you're going to have heavier turnover at the bottom end of your lineup. Because as soon as these kids get good enough to make more money, they're going to have to trade them to bring in younger kids to fill those vacancies. So it's just more turnover for that particular team, but the model's working. It worked for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
So I'm right.
It's working for Pittsburgh.
So I'm right.
I don't think that's what he said. I think
that's how I'm going to take it.
That's not what I
Media,
heard,
we twist things.
You can do it by committee. So I mean, but
it's not like Pittsburgh's blue line was filled with Norris Trophy guys, right? Like,
no, but
they kind of they made do, right? It happens. Connor McDavid hasn't made do. He's taken over. Can he win another scoring title this year? Can he win another Hart this year? What are we looking at here? This could get crazy.
It could. I think he's going to be that much stronger, that much more mature, that much hungrier. That he'll feel that much more confident. So I don't think there's any kind of limit of what he might be able to do in this era, and it'll be interesting. How the whole team kind of melds together there, and I'm actually quite interested to see how that's going to go down for the team the next couple of years, and to see where Connor can take it, and as a leader of the team, and the aspirations of winning a Stanley Cup. I know that's we've been there before, so I know what he's faced with. I know what he's looking at, and I think it's certainly exciting to think about the possibilities.